I'm going to spin it around a bit. It's really late at night here. See, well, I say it's really late at night, it's only the early evening really. And I've got to go on training session soon, so can you see how beautiful this is? Really, really nice. Look at the light, it's so pretty. And it's great in the daytime. Anyway, what I want to talk to you about today is asexual or thrill seeker. Now, because I'm seen as somewhat of an expert in asexuality, I get lots of people coming to me in private messaging me, asking me loads of questions about asexuals. Are asexuals this? Are asexuals that? And I have lots of people who are new to the world of asexuality, some of whom they can't decide whether they're asexual or not. And they kind of like come to me for advice and help to discover where they are asexual and whether their behaviour matches asexual traits or not. But the thing is with asexuality, as with a lot of things, there's variations. So there's variations between different people, between what we like and what we dislike. There's a lot of myths surrounding asexuality, so it can be very difficult. And I get a lot of guys coming to me as well as girls, and the guys tend to go into more explicit detail about their sexual behaviour, as it were, going more into masturbation, more about watching porn. They ask me all these types of questions like, is it normal for an asexual to watch porn, or if I masturbate can I still be asexual? And they ask me all these types of questions, which, if you read my Asexual Perspectives book, I mean, pretty much you can see how diverse the asexual spectrum is, and you can see that some asexuals do watch porn, some asexuals do masturbate. Now, the thing is, it's really, when you're assessing whether you feel you're asexual or not, you have to bear in mind that asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction and or little to no interest in sexual activities. So you can have be asexual if you lack any interest in sexual activities and you have no sexual attraction, or it could just be I have no sexual attraction, or you're not really interested in doing any sexual activities. But usually the whole thing is you're not sexually attracted to anyone. If you are sexually attracted to someone, then you're not asexual unless you fall on the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum. So you might be a demisexual, where you have to form a strong emotional bond with someone before you can become sexually attracted to them. Or you might be a grey asexual who experiences sexual attraction under limited or rare or specific circumstances. And sometimes you may experience it but not enough to want to act on it. So there are variations, but in general, basically, if you experience sexual attraction towards another person, and especially if you get this regularly, you're not asexual, you'd be then asexual. So what do I mean by asexual thrill seeker? Well, because I've got loads of people coming to me in private message, I have a lot of guys sharing their personal details with me. Some watch my asexual videos, but some aren't really asexual. And this is where the thrill seeking comes in. So sometimes I get guys who come and start talking to me about asexuality. Then they start talking to me about their sexual stuff, about masturbation, porn. And then they'll start asking me, they might start asking me what I like, what I like personally, like, do I do this, do I do that? And that's when you kind of can tell that there may be more of a sexual thrill seeker. So sexuals, in my experience, and I've had quite a lot of experience with sexual guys, heterosexual guys, half of my life, for example, they will tend to get quite a thrill. A lot of the highly sexual guys that I attract, they will tend to get a thrill out of talking about sexual stuff. So for example, if I'm just explaining educational wise about masturbation or porn, if I'm talking about it in general with them, it's like sharing an intimate moment with them, and kind of like they get turned on by it. I've had this happen to me. I had a guy literally came on private messaging. I said I'm asexual. He started talking about asexuality. I thought he got because I spoke to him about it, I thought he was genuinely interested. Then he turned it all around and started saying sexual stuff to me, asked me to show nude photos to him and sex stuff, and I blocked him straight away. So it's really difficult from my point of view to know sometimes whether they're a sexual thrill seeker, but sometimes you just know it. And the way to tell if they start asking you is, you know, if someone's asking you for nude pictures and they've only just met you, they're not really going to be asexual. I mean, I'm not saying that every asexual's never going to do that, but in general, usually they're not going to be asexual, because if they lack sexual attraction, that, you know, if they want pictures of you naked, yeah, aesthetics still play a part in asexuality. They might like looking at the naked body, but at the end of the day, you want someone who's going to like you for you, not your body. You want someone who's going to want to get to know you, who's going to, you know, who's going to ask you questions about your hobbies, your interests, who's really going to take a deep interest in your personality, not ask you straight away for nude pictures, or if at all for nude pictures, you know. And some asexuals, I think, because we're quite kind, you know, we're kind, caring people, we take people on face value a lot, especially if you haven't had much experience of sexuals and the way sexuals tend to think. They're highly sexual people I'm talking about there. I've had a lot of highly sexual guys. If you're not on that wavelength, then it's hard to sometimes tell where they're coming from. But because I've got a lot of experience, you know, I can sometimes tell even from a bit of the conversation where it's going. You know, I have people on Twitter, on Facebook, you know, saying stuff to me, you know, and it's pretty obvious where it's going to lead. Sex, basically sex online or whatever they want. It's a nightmare. And Twitter at the moment, I don't know what's going on with Twitter. Guys are using it as a dating site to like hook up with women. It's terrible. So I just wanted to say that some people you may think are asexual aren't. They're just literally out for the thrill of talking about sexual stuff, because as an asexual, I actually talk about sex quite a lot, because I'm trying to tell people, especially in asexual groups, what I like and what I don't like sometimes, which we share with each other, don't we? You know, because we all like to get to know each other. It's a great learning curve for us to share our experiences and see if anyone's similar. But you have to know that sometimes there's not everyone's actually asexual, and if they're trying to ask you specific details about your intimate self, you know, what you like to do you like porn, do you like masturbation, if they're starting to get into the finer details or keep wanting to talk to you more and more about your own personal stuff, that's a sign that they probably are getting a thrill out of it and not asexual. It's really difficult for me, obviously, because I do talk about intimate stuff sometimes. I even talk about some intimate stuff, you know, as you know, I'm very open on this channel about intimate stuff I like, and sometimes I do share in privately, you know, just to reassure people. But I've got a guy on Facebook, and he's actually in a heterosexual relationship and approached me privately, met me in person before in my day job. That was really weird. And yeah, he talks a lot about just liking kissing and stuff, but he's like wants to talk to me a lot about my intimate stuff in the past, and for me it was just getting a bit too sexual, and I've got a feeling he might be getting a kick and thrill out of, you know, the fact I'm talking about the stuff that I like. So yeah, it can kind of turn guys on, and that's not my aim. My aim is to help asexuals around the world and to help the people understand asexuality and to bust through myths and stereotypes of asexuality too. So yeah, anyway, it's been a pleasure to see you tonight at a different location, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye bye.